BauVolution, where construction meets innovation.
BauVolution. Let's build the future together.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. You sent over a really interesting piece from BauVolution. Kai Kompetenz wird der Schlüssel zur Zukunft. Sind Sie bereit? By Christian K. Carl.
Yes, I saw that. It really struck me. It captures something fundamental that's happening right now.
It does. And as we look through it, it felt like it's pointing to a pretty major shift.
Absolutely. It's hard not to draw parallels, isn't it? Thinking back to when word processors first came out or spreadsheets.
Exactly.
Some people probably shrugged them off back then, but I mean, could you even imagine trying to work efficiently today without them?
That's the parallel the article makes, and it just feels so right. It kind of suggests AI is on that same path. Maybe even, a bigger transformation for how we work.
Potentially, yeah.
So the core of this deep dive, what we really want to unpack for you from this article is basically, why is getting involved with AI, like now, so important for staying, relevant and efficient?
Okay, yeah, let's get into it. The article jumps right in with that comparison you mentioned, AI tools versus, the Word and Excel we all rely on now.
Right.
It really frames AI as the next generation of assistants in the workplace.
And what's really different about this next generation, it seems, is how AI just elevates that whole idea of simplifying things, automating tasks. I mean, Word and Excel streamline specific things, sure, but AI, with its ability to actually understand language, generate text, it feels like it can handle a much wider range of stuff.
That's exactly it. Just think about the amount of time so many of us spend on routine things. Necessary, yeah, but routine. Drafting emails, digging through long documents for the key bits, churning out regular reports.
Yeah, the admin load.
Right. The article makes the point that AI can actually lift a lot of that burden.
It gave a specific example from construction that I thought was pretty telling.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine a construction company where AI isn't just like filling in a template. It's actually generating whole reports on demand.
Wow. Okay.
It can suggest the best way to phrase things, check for mistakes automatically, even tweak the content depending on who the report is for.
And here's where it gets, really interesting from a workflow perspective. The article points out that if you integrate these AI systems properly, the documents they create can flow straight into the company's existing processes for review, for action.
So it's not just saving a few minutes here and there.
No. It's more fundamental. It's rethinking how the work actually gets done. And think about that freed up time. Some studies suggest it could be, a pretty significant chunk for certain jobs.
Right. Time you could spend on, say, higher level thinking or talking to clients.
Exactly. Strategic work, client relationships, things AI can't do. So the message really isn't if you should look at AI. It's more how you can bring it in strategically.
It really feels like it's becoming foundational for staying efficient, competitive, pretty much across the board.
And it goes beyond just those, the routine automations, too. The article really dives into AI's potential as, almost like a creative partner or an analytical one.
That's a fascinating angle.
This, for me, is where you start to see the truly transformative possibilities.
Yeah, because we're moving past AI as just a digital grunt worker.
Right.
It's presented more as a real assistant for what we usually call knowledge work. Tackling complex problems, helping structure ideas, pulling together info from all over the place.
And that shift has massive implications, especially if you're in, say, a creative field or consulting. Anywhere where making really informed decisions and communicating clearly is just critical.
The article uses architects and engineers in construction planning as a key example here, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Think about the sheer volume of stuff they juggle. Regulations, industry standards, plus the unique details of every single project.
It's a lot.
So the article explains how AI can essentially go through all those dense standards, complex legal texts, and pull out the relevant bits. But not just dump it on. You present it in a way that's actually understandable and tailored to the specific project you're working on.
Okay, so instead of spending hours, maybe days, on that kind of deep dive research.
Exactly. Imagine using an AI tool to quickly brainstorm some initial concepts, then instantly check if they line up with the current rules, maybe even get a first draft going, all in one place.
The efficiency gain there seems huge.
Potentially enormous. Not just saving research time, but also, crucially, reducing the risk of missing some critical detail, something that could cause big problems, big costs down the line.
Okay, so the article then pivots a bit, moving into project management. which is, I mean, absolutely vital in construction and real estate.
Critical, yep.
And it argues AI can really help there too. Lighten the load, improve oversight, help prioritize.
This is where AI's knack for processing, huge amounts of data in real time really shines. The article gives us example. An AI system pulling together data from everywhere, like progress updates from the site, delivery schedules for materials, budget tracking info, all of it. And it gives you the single, constantly updated picture of the whole project.
So not just a snapshot, but a live view.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it's not just showing you what's happening. The article highlights is AI proactively flagging things.
Like potential delays.
Yeah, potential delays, suggesting maybe optimal ways to adjust the schedule, even automatically drafting up summary reports for meetings or for the execs. Imagine getting that time back.
That would be significant.
And another fascinating idea in there is using AI to build up institutional memory.
How so?
Well, the concept is preserving data and insights from completed projects in these AI-powered knowledge bases, so the whole organization can actually learn from past successes and, just as importantly, past mistakes.
That makes a lot of sense. But then the article introduces this more futuristic concept, this personal AI assistant for construction managers. MA.
MA, yes. The efficient management and monitoring assistant. It's quite a vision.
It really is.
Having this digital co-pilot reminding you about deadlines, figuring out which tasks need attention right now, analyzing risks to the schedule.
And even suggesting ways to deal with those risks. All on a tablet or smart glasses right there on site.
Exactly. That's a powerful idea. What's really game-changing about Emma isn't just managing tasks better. It's the idea it could make that high-level project management expertise more accessible, even for less experienced people on the team.
It's still a concept, yeah. The author admits that playfully.
Sure.
But it really paints a picture, doesn't it? How AI could shift project management from being mostly reactive to something much more proactive.
Definitely. And companies that get on board with these kinds of technologies early, they're setting themselves up for a real competitive advantage, no question.
Okay, so we've seen some really compelling examples of what AI can do. But then the article makes this crucial shift. It starts talking about the core of AI competence.
Right. And it makes a key point. This is way more than just knowing how to use the tech.
Yeah, it defines competence much more broadly. It includes the knowledge, the skills, sure, but also the willingness, even the sort of permission or backing from the organization to manage tasks well.
Exactly. So applying that to AI, competence means you need to understand it, you need to be able to use it effectively, and this is critical, you need to be able to question it critically.
And it stresses that this isn't just for the techies, right?
Not at all. It requires this blend.
Yeah.
You need deep knowledge of your own field, what the article calls domain knowledge. You need sharp analytical skills. And you need, frankly, a healthy skepticism about the results AI gives you.
So professionals need to do more than just, click the buttons on the AI tool.
Absolutely. You need to grasp, at least fundamentally, how these AI models actually work, how to interpret the outputs they spit out. And you need to think carefully about the ethical side, the practical implications of using them.
There's an example in the article about AI analyzing building data for, energy-efficient design.
Yeah, or using image and sensor data for quality control. AI can find patterns, suggest things, maybe based on machine learning trained on tons of past projects, successes and failures, things a human might miss.
Okay.
But it still needs skilled people to understand why the AI is suggesting that, to understand the technical basis, and to assess the real-world risks or limits. Is the data good? Are there biases?
And the article links this AI competence to future skills, those broader abilities we need.
It's a really good connection because it's not just the tech skills, it's the social skills, the creative thinking, and crucially, that commitment to just keep learning.
Good reminder, isn't it? Yeah. AI is powerful, but it works within a human system.
Totally. Your ability to work with others, to think creatively about how to apply AI, and just to keep adapting that's going to be key to actually getting the most out of it.
So moving specifically to construction and real estate, the article really emphasizes that this AI competence could be a genuine game changer, especially given the challenges those industries are facing.
Oh, absolutely. You've got huge pressure for more sustainable building, projects getting incredibly complex, and that persistent skills shortage everyone talks about.
Right.
So the ability to really leverage AI effectively, that's a massive opportunity for optimizing how things are done, for saving serious time, and for actually driving some real innovation.
And to show just how broad this potential is, the article lists, 17 specific examples?
Yeah, it's quite the list. Very comprehensive. We probably don't need to go through all 17 right now,
No, maybe not all of them.
but maybe highlight a few key areas where AI is already making waves to give a real feel for the impact.
Good idea. Like BIM data analysis, building information modeling.
Exactly. BIM is that digital twin of a building. AI can analyze all that data and make predictions to help plan better.
And simulating construction processes, too, before you even start digging.
Yeah, running virtual simulations to find the most efficient way to build. Plus, getting better at predicting costs based on past projects trying to avoid those budget blowouts.
What about sustainability? That came up earlier.
Big one. AI helping choose materials to cut down co-Euros emissions, for example. And quality control using AI to analyze images or sensor readings to spot defects way earlier than we might otherwise.
That seems critical.
It is. And then there's safety hazard monitoring using sensor data, controlling noise and emissions on site to meet regulations, tracking the construction timeline in real time to get ahead of delays.
The list just keeps going, doesn't it? Logistics, supply chains.
Optimizing working time, refining 3D printing, automating site documentation with drones and AI analysis.
Generating deviation reports automatically.
Yep. And even looking further ahead, forecasting maintenance needs in finished buildings, analyzing building data for energy efficiency upgrades, helping figure out the best options for property development.
Integrating buildings into smart cities, even smart contracts.
Right, automating contract steps based on hitting construction milestones. It's a huge range.
And looking at that range really hammers home the point, doesn't it? Using these tools effectively isn't just about technical know-how.
Not at all. It demands that ability to weigh the potential against the risks. You really need to understand how AI fits into the workflow, and you absolutely have to question the reliability, the ethics of the results.
So investing in this AI competence isn't just about keeping up.
No, it's about actively shaping how the industry evolves, doing it responsibly.
Okay, so we understand what AI competence is, why it's important. How do we actually do it? How do we implement it day to day? The article breaks it down, right? Understanding, applying, reflecting.
Yeah, those 3 pillars. So understanding, that's about getting the basics of how the AI models work, what kind of data they need, how they generally reach conclusions. You don't need to be a coder necessarily, but you need the concepts.
Then applying, that's the hands-on part.
Right. Actually using the tools, whether it's complex algorithms or just user-friendly AI decision aids, getting comfortable with them is becoming a core skill. Fast.
But maybe the most crucial is the third one, reflecting.
I think so. That ability to step back, critically look at what the AI is telling you, and think about the bigger picture. The ethical side, the legal stuff.
The article had that construction manager example, which seemed to pull it all together.
Yes, that was a good one. The AI is crunching site data in real-time material use, weather forecasts, progress reports.
Right.
And based on that, maybe it suggests, hey, reschedule a task X tomorrow, looks like heavy rain, so the team can switch to indoor work proactively.
Okay, makes sense.
Or maybe it flags a potential problem with the supplier late deliveries showing up in the data. That gives the manager an early heads up to maybe find an alternative or adjust the schedule before it becomes a crisis.
And this is the key point from the article. The manager's own judgment is still vital.
Absolutely indispensable. They still have to take that AI suggestion and filter it through their own professional knowledge. Does it fit with what the client wants? Does it meet safety rules? Does it align with the overall project goals?
So you can't just blindly follow the AI.
Never. Especially not in construction where the stakes, financial, societal, are so high, you have to question the output. The article really stresses that true AI competence means recognizing the risks and making sure these powerful tools are used responsibly by individuals and by the whole team.
Okay, so we have a clear picture of AI competence, how to think about applying it. The article then looks forward. How do we actually get ready? How do we prepare ourselves for this AI-driven future?
Yeah, it really emphasizes that you need to invest proactively in your own development. It's not optional anymore.
And it gives some pretty concrete steps people can take, right?
Very practical steps, yeah. First off, just tap into the learning resources out there. Online courses, webinars, seminars specific to your industry. Build that foundation.
Places like Coursera, Udemy, even YouTube are mentioned as good starting points.
Exactly. Then, crucially, get your hands dirty.
Meaning?
Actually experiment with AI tools, even simple ones. Try chatbots for automating some comms. Play with data analysis software on small projects. Get a feel for what they can really do and where they fall short.
Networking too, right? Talking to people already using AI.
Hugely valuable. Learn from their experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly. It can save you a lot of time and trouble, help you avoid common mistakes.
And finally, developing those broader interdisciplinary skills.
Yes, because AI sits right at that intersection of tech and human know-how. So boosting your tech skills, sure, but also your communication, collaboration, analytical thinking, creative problem solving, all of that becomes even more important.
And connecting the tech back to the real world needs sustainability, safety, client needs. It's essential in fields like construction and real estate.
Absolutely key to unlocking the real value.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up, the big takeaway from the article seems crystal clear. AI isn't some far-off sci-fi thing.
Yeah.
It's here, and it's fundamentally changing how we work across the board.
And getting involved early, adopting these tools proactively, it's not just about being more efficient day to day, it's becoming essential for staying competitive. The landscape is just shifting that fast.
So the advice is pretty simple. Start now. Take those first steps. Explore some of the tools out there, even the free ones. Think about how they could fit into your work.
And that message isn't just for individuals, it's for companies, for universities, for training providers too. We need to build AI competence into education, into internal processes, urgently.
The article makes that comparison again at the end. Word. Excel, they went from newfangled tools to just essential. And it argues AI is heading the same way. So now really is the time to get familiar, get comfortable, if you want to be set up for success going forward.
So as you think about all this, just remember, engaging with AI, embracing that idea of lifelong learning, those really are the keys to, well, thriving in what's coming next.
And just as a final practical note, if you're wondering exactly where to start, the article actually mentions a checklist. So start and see mit KI im Beruf durch. Might be a useful resource to look up. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Looking forward to it.
This was BauVolution.
Where construction meets innovation. Until next time, keep building the future.